Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. Last time we crash-landed another shuttle, this time in the polar region. We're not really cold though, we're still wearing our same stuff, but we now have some, you can see how our breath is making a little mist in front of our faces. It's obviously very cold. Hey, how's Baudo doing? Is she dead? No, he's just unconscious. Okay, the only thing I can see is that way, so I'm guessing that's where I have to go. It's the entrance to whatever this place is. Apparently something... It's what did the droids call it? Polar irrigation system? So I'm guessing that's what it is. That's what it is. Wow, I'm slurring my language again, as I tend to do, sadly. Yes. Okay, so we just left him to lie there, and now he's going to be a hostage. Fair enough. Oh. By the way, those ropes I found last time that I didn't have any idea of where I got them from. I think these...
Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed.
I think the sort of invisible assassin guys aboard the Harbinger, I think they dropped them. Who are you?
I will not warn you again. Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense people come to no harm.
Oh, that's brilliant. Fine. Very well. I did not come here to do this battle.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes, it bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the Academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, Atris, you have been clever.
Atris?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deeper to its source.
Stop! Ah!
Ah, with the fear is mingled guilt. It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? Ah, and there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atton. If he is a Jedi, he will forgive. And if he is not, he will not care.
You can't tell him, please. I'm asking you. I don't want him to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atton, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war and those who follow them. You are a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this man we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atton, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If Atris learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scowl like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Dejaric can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship, and the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
Why does no one make good sequels? Just why? I guess Portal 2 was good, so I can't complain too much.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why?
My slaves and my ship. Yeah, let's ask about our friends first, I guess. No, actually, it was not my intention to come here, Atris, or see you again.
Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out?
Nope. So I think we were just a Jedi who kind of followed Revan and Malak, not actually them, not actually Revan himself. I've lost track actually. The Force brought me here, I guess. No, actually it was a droid that stole my ship and landed it here, but yeah, it's the Force.
You presume much. The Force does not guide your movements, not anymore. Its connection was lost when you fell. Perhaps you feel that the Force also led you to the Mandalorian Wars as well, but in truth it only led to your exile.
Let's not argue. Yeah, why was I cast out anyway? Kind of, no one has really told me.
Why? Because you turned your back on us. And the Order. You followed Revan to war against the Mandalorians, the very war that made Revan a Lord of the Sith, and ruined you.
But the Republic asked the Jedi for aid.
The Republic asked the Jedi Order for aid against the Mandalorians, that much is true. Yet that aid did not mean rushing into battle, giving in to aggression, your hate, your passions. You sought adventure, you hungered for battle, you could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled.
So I disobey an order, essentially save the galaxy by doing so. And instead of the other Jedi who then become Sith, I come back, and for that you kick me out. Doesn't seem intuitive at all. I also recall you wished me imprisoned, or worse.
There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I have kept it, so I would never forget.
Hey, look! By saying I had a purple lightsaber, she now has my purple lightsaber. Pink, really, more than purple, but yeah. I did not realize you still had it after so many years.
I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order.
You know what? If you have no passion to drive you, your actions are meaningless and you might as well not bother. But, yeah, I never fully agreed with the sort of teachings of the Jedi. This whole, you know, all emotions are bad thing. No, I don't think so. From a very philosophical standpoint, it's that which makes life worth living. Fine. You know, let's grovel a bit. I wish to earn the right to carry my lightsaber again, even though I fully disagree with having been punished for, you know, doing what my conscience told me to do. Even though we don't know the full story yet, but just from what I've heard, it seems like, you know, there was a big threat and everyone was, oh, we should discuss what to do first. You know, like the UN, basically, you know. Don't send troops, don't try to save anyone, just talk about it. And threaten the bad guys. We are going to take away your toys. Maybe. If you don't stop within the next 10 years or so. Fine.
Become a Jedi again? That is a thing far out of reach. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice.
Yeah, I went to war to protect others, not for battle, I guess. But she's tell me that she's going to say that it's just a lie I tell myself, I guess.
So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way.
Is the Jedi way to let people be massacred?
Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us.
Yeah, I did not lose myself, I found myself. And Revenant Malak turned on you, not I.
Without you and the other fallen Jedi to support them, to feed their lust for war, Revan and Malak's crusade would have been over before it began.
They also happened to have the Star Forge. You know, that really ancient, really powerful fleet-building machine? Powered by a star. Shoving out battle droids and battleships by the minute. Remember that? Anything of it? Or is that just kind of uncomfortable and we don't discuss it anymore? Yeah, then you know nothing of what drove me or Revan.
I know you betrayed the Jedi teachings. All that you had been taught you threw at your feet, crushed them beneath your heel. The Jedi teachings require we examine our actions. Acting without reflection is not our way.
Yeah. Hesitation and passivity are also strong emotions, ones we should guard against.
There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite.
No, there was no guarantee we would win, but if we had not acted, the Mandalorians would now rule the Republic.
A physical victory perhaps, but the real victory lay in...
The triumphs of pacifism? Surrender?
Do not twist my words. A physical victory is not the only victory, or the only loss.
physical victory is not a loss at all. Hence, it's a victory. You know, I to some extent, I always found that the Jedi teachings from the 3 Star Wars movies worth mentioning are actually, you know, there was kind of a point to that, you know. It was always that the dark side is kind of a threat that's always there, and if you let go, and even if you go to war for the right reasons, you might eventually become bad, and that's something you have to be really careful about. But none of the Jedi ever taught that you shouldn't fight at all. I mean, even Yoda said that, you know, to become a Jedi you will have to face Darth Vader. Stuff like that. And a certain part of Luke's training had been combat training. So it seems that this whole, you know, we should just do nothing and surrender isn't really the Jedi way. And I guess, I get that, you know, there was something about the Force that was meant to be beyond the physical. And that's kind of the reason Yoda was such a great character in the 3 Star Wars films. That, or rather, he actually only appeared in the second and third one, but yeah. This whole point of Obi-Wan telling Luke that, you know, Yoda is much stronger in the Force than I am, and he's this great guy, and you should really seek out his teachings. And then you see Yoda, who's basically a senile old man living in a cave, but still really, really powerful. And the point of it was never to sort of stand by and let bad things happen. Because, you know, oh, if I fight now I might become really aggressive and that would be bad, so I'm just going to surrender and let them win. That was never the point. The point was just to fight for good and not let yourself be lost in aggression and not become the thing you meant to kill. But just from what I gather, I came back and did not become the thing I meant to kill. Revan and Malak maybe did. Maybe. And arguably Revan eventually turned back to the good side, the way I played the first game at least. But yeah, fine. If you trust only in the Force to settle events and disregard the need to act, then the Mandalorians would rule the galaxy.
You do not know...
If the Mandalorians had won, would the Jedi have fought then, or simply have meditated on what to do?
How dare you? The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died.
Oh, cool. I have high awareness, apparently. Your anger, is it because you secretly wish you'd had the strength to follow me to war?
What? What do you mean?
I can see it in you. You wanted to fight by my side, but you were too scared to defy the Council.
You're wrong, just as you were when you defied the Council. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here?
Tell me what you've done with my friends first.
Your concern is noted. Your friends have not been harmed. They have been detained for their safety. I find it unusual that you are travelling with others again. I had thought you had forsaken the company of others after the war. Or is that why you are here?
I'm looking for my ship so I can leave Telos.
Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility.
Okay. I seriously didn't destroy it. I actually clicked the option of not destroying it, and the ship following me destroyed it. So why is there not an option to actually say that? Why are the options all along the lines of, yeah, I kinda did it, but I had to? Okay, fine, it was an accident. I guess that's the closest thing to the truth I'm going to be able to say. Unless I for some reason misclicked in the dialogue. But I don't think I did.
Ah, an accident. Something beyond your control. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done?
Did I misclick? I'm going to have to actually go back and watch that episode. I'm now becoming uncertain, because I was thinking there should be a way to avoid this. Did I misclick, or did I misinterpret the action I choose? I'm fairly certain I at least meant to choose the option of, no, there might still be people alive aboard the station, let's just try and get out without that. But maybe the game interpreted that differently? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't have a choice, I guess.
No, your crime is much more than that. Without the fuel from Peragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds.
Despite the fact that the guy sort of in charge of the station said, we'll be able to keep it running, but just about. Never mind. So why is Telos so important? We already know that. Fine, let's ask, what do you mean?
Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime.
Oh, I wouldn't say devoid of life. It's very difficult to destroy life. It has a way of cropping back up. You know me, and no, I would not have intentionally committed such an act.
I have not known you since you left to serve Revan in the Mandalorian Wars. The only question that remains is how far you have fallen. How is it that you are not content to confine your ruin to yourself? You must spread it to others wherever you go. Ruin yourself with your actions if you will, but when your actions bring harm to others, then you must answer for it.
My crime? The Sith destroyed Peragus, not me. Finally, I'm able to actually say that?
The Sith? What do you mean?
Yeah, the Sith came for me on Peragus to kill me. So before I had to admit to having destroyed it, and now finally I'm able to say actually it wasn't really me.
You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. And you encountered them on Peragus. But what would they want there? They can't have been looking for you.
Yeah, they believe me to be the last Jedi.
You? If they thought you were Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here.
They're stronger than you think. At least one Sith Lord stands with them, and they fight differently than the Sith from the Jedi Civil War.
Whatever force they can bring to bear, it will matter not. If they face a true Jedi, they shall fall.
What was arrogance? Wasn't that one of the things you weren't meant to have? Yeah, your grasp of tactics is questionable. Fine, let's offer our help. I really don't like her so far, but actually, I guess she's a little bit like Bastila, where she might... I think it's a kind of thing that she might eventually notice we're not as bad as she thinks and, you know, warm up to us a little bit. The one character I really can't stand is Kreia so far. She's just like, ugh, you're a terrible person. There's nothing redeeming about you. You just want me to, you know, the ends justify the means kind of thing, which I disagree with. Anyway, how can I help?
You offer your aid after turning your back on me, on the Council. The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that, something you never seem to understand.
Okay, I have 4 persuade options. Why are they painting me to be like this? I guess it makes sense that she thinks I'm sort of a raving lunatic who just wants to murder everyone, but I'm not doing this out of fear. I want to help.
Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, perhaps our defenses shall be stronger for it. Take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there we can call a council and see what can be done.
I'll gather what help I can and assemble them on Dantooine.
Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove him, mistress. Come with us.
Can I have her? Oh. Okay, I'm not sure.
Are you all right, mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachment. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber, and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, over... But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
So, when you have troubling feelings, you run away from them. That's certainly the Jedi way. I don't know. I mean, I know that Jedis are meant to be sort of pacifists, but... I feel they weren't meant to be that much of sort of... They seem like cowards, not pacifists, you know? Which is, it's a slim line, but it seemed to me that, at least from the Star Wars movies, the point of the whole thing was always that you should know when to fight and when not to fight. But it's never been, you should never fight. The idea would always be that there are some fights worth fighting, and some things worth fighting for. And the thing that makes all the difference between someone like Luke and someone like Darth Vader, and then, until the end where he's redeemed, but anyway, is that they are fighting to protect something that they hold dear. They're not fighting for dominance or power, and that should be what the Jedi are, but not... It shouldn't be not fighting at all. Okay, so here we are now. I'm guessing I'm not meant to go there, right? Have a few minutes left. Yeah, I'm guessing if I go here... Actually, let me quick save. Bad things will happen. It's cold to the touch, and there seems to be no conventional means of opening it. Well, of course. Sorry. Let's head out then, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they don't consider me a hero because, you know, I kind of ran out on them, but from what I gather, I came back and actually, you know, somewhat accepted their judgment, so... Seems silly to punish me that harshly for that. Handmaiden, do you have anything interesting to say?
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about.
What did she say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
I went to war to protect others, not to fight. Is that the best option? Yeah, I guess so.
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
My light side meter is actually all the way on the light side. Just saying. I do not walk the path of the dark side. Which is true, I do not. I've actually done I may have done one or two things accidentally that gave me dark side points, but pretty much everything gave me light side so far.
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
That doesn't explain why I stopped fighting after the Mandalorian Wars.
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
That's a lie. The Jedi Council... Well, at least from everything we know so far, the Jedi Council took away my connection to the Force. That is untrue, but I guess she is entitled to her opinion.
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
So she keeps going on about how much she hates me, basically. Expressed feelings.
Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
What do you think her heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
Movement and motion are the same thing. Just putting it out there. I have no wish to fight her, though. I'm not really an aggressive guy.
Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice.
So if I fought her, it might make the truth come out? That doesn't seem smart. Fight to the death. Then we will know whether you really love her. Something.
Perhaps. It may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
Well, I can somewhat get behind that philosophy. I would like to ask you something.
You may ask.
You look different than the others here.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I meant no offense.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
So it's a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
Fair enough, I'll be going now.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
Soft and slightly wobbly. I only know what its loss feels like.
Then tell me of its absence.
Something you struggle to... I guess that's kind of... The description we used before was awakening and finding all your senses blinded. So let's go with that.
It is standing atop the summit of a great mountain, the winds tearing about you, then finding yourself buried alive, trapped, helpless, and alone.
I see. Thank you, Exile. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
If you have any further questions, seek me out and ask them. Such as... anything, really. I don't know why that gave us light side points, but... hey, I don't know why Kreia was suddenly there, but fine. Anyway, I think this is a good point to end the episode. I'm guessing we get the ship now and we have to, you know, find allies across the universe. Again, I'm guessing. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and next time we'll probably get going with the game proper. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.